Alright dudes, this has to be the single most insane build I've ever tried out in Diablo 4, and it seems that pretty much every pro out there is using it to get massively boosted through Torment tiers. You probably saw a glimpse of it, just a flash of lightning. That is because this is the Evade Eagle, and it has insane mobility, insane damage, and it's rather easy to build. You only need a couple of items to get it lifted off ground, which is kind of ironic because that's exactly what you're doing 99% of the time. Now, what makes this build really incredible is the combination between Sepazontag, one of the unique quarterstaffs for the Spiritborn, the one that you get from Duriel, by the way, as well as the Thunder Spike basic ability. Basically, Sepazontag is going to make your basic attacks to always deal their third attack. And this couples very perfectly with the Thunder Spike, because on its third attack, you pierce further, but you also reduce evade cooldown by 5 seconds. Additionally, there's an upgrade for it, which is going to make your evade to attack with the Thunder Spike along the way and also make enemies vulnerable. So basically what this means is that when you cast evade, you cast a Thunder Spike, which because of the unique quarterstaff is always going to be the third attack, and because it's the third attack, it will reduce the cooldown by 5 seconds. So this means by the time you're finished with the first dodge slash attack slash everything, you're going to have yet again another dodge to cast another attack, and so on and so forth. Plus, there are some passives in the skill tree over here that can increase the number of dodge charges, which is going to give you the possibility to just run in uninterrupted. And by run in, I mean just dodging all over the place. Literally, all you have to do, press dodge continuously with this combination right here, and you're going to constantly pull off the Thunder Spike. Some of the core mechanics that will make this build work really well is the Storm Feathers, which we're going to further buff on our gear. We're going to increase potency as much as we can on most of the gear pieces. I'm also increasing block rate chance as much as possible so that we have, or at least reach 100%, so that we benefit the most out of the redirected force, so that we can increase critical strike damage. And of course, besides this, also Greyla skills to further have a lot of barrier active, which will further give us benefits like increasing our damage via some of the other aspects and Paragon boards. Now, to get the Sepazontag, the most straightforward way is to try your luck at Duriel, very close to Giacul, right here on this side of the map. You will need 2 summoning items for him. One is the Shard of Agony, which you get by defeating Gregoire, and the second one is going to be the Mucus Slick Egg, which you get by defeating, of course, Echo of Varshan. But both of them are very easy, and you're usually going to get the summoning materials for them anyway, as you just do Hell Tides and the Nightmare Dungeons, plus also jumping into the pit. And once you've gotten all of that, you're pretty much set to go with the skills. So we're going to go max 5 out of 5 into Thunder Spike, as this is our main ability, plus the accelerated upgrade, as that's going to make evade cast Thunder Spike all the time. And because of that unique staff, it's always going to be the third attack, which is the one that reduces evade cooldown and deals the higher damage. We will skip the core category and jump straight into focus. The most important here is going to be the Ravager. We're going to go with the Replenishing Ravager, and specifically this is going to be something we constantly keep up, especially on single target bosses, as this also synergizes with Potent later down the line to further increase the damage they take by up to 30% from us, which is actually really big. You can also go with the Soar, which is another mobility action skill, plus replenishing upgrade if you want to more easily make enemies vulnerable. This can also synergize with these 2 passives, Apex and Diminishment. So Apex is going to increase vulnerable damage, double versus elites, and the Diminishment just reduces their damage against you. We also get to use Mirage, very important, not just because of the dodge chance during evade, but specifically because our dodge is now constantly going to give us critical strike chance. This is pretty much going to be up all the time. And then Unrestrained Power, just a passive increase in damage as we are unhindered. And we're going to be unhindered from this very important ability right here called Armored Hide. This is going to have a huge uptime. It's going to give us resolve stacks, which reduces incoming damage. It's going to couple extremely well with the redirected force aspect, which is going to let us gain increased critical strike damage equal to up to like 105% of our block chance, and blocking doubles this bonus for 10 seconds, which is going to be really crazy. That's going to be a huge huge amount of damage. Plus the fact that Armored Hide helps us all the time. Plus it's a gorilla skill, so this will synergize with Resilient a little bit later down the line. Now, besides this, we will use counter attack, another very important one to have. Yeah, we're gonna go with a reinforced counter attack, which is going to increase critical strike damage for pretty much every close enemy by up to 30%. But besides this, also increases dodge chance, so this is also going to further synergize with that Mirage ability. So yeah, this is going to help us a ton to, yeah, just evade, get critical strikes, and deal damage. Also, Patient Guard plus Auspicious. Auspicious is a very important one passive to have. Accumulation of max life gives us barrier pretty much, so that's going to also get boosted by Resilient, and we are also going to boost damage while we have barrier active. And besides that, Perseverance, we gain additional damage reduction per stack of Resolve. It just helps with the overall damage. Now, in the next category, we have Potency. Now, here you can go with the Rushing Claw if you want to, but I also completely skipped it, so it's not really a big issue. We are going to use Potent, like I said before, as well as Resilient, as casting Gorilla skills grants us even more max life. So yes, this further gets to work with Auspicious, and like I said, we constantly have Gorilla skills up just because of the Armored Hide. Even Concussive Stomp, you can definitely involve a few points over here because we're gonna use some runes to have it castable all the time. And besides this, going with Brilliance, just Eagle damage, like for the Thunder Spike. And you can also go with a couple of points in Acceleration to gain some additional evade charges, just because you will need 2 or 3 so that you never run out of dodges just in case. And in the final ultimate category, we're going to go with Devourer, and specifically Exalted Devourer. Now, the reason why we use this in the end game is because it's the one that lingers for the most amount of time on the battlefield, and this means we take more advantage of resolution. So this is going to grant us increased damage versus elites, so it's going to help us quite a bit. Plus we use Intricacy, like pretty much every other build uses it, so that any Potency defensive focus skill we casted before the ultimate, we can spam it again. Specifically, either Armored Hide, either Concussive, either Ravager, or even Counterattack. Any of these can be spammed. And finally, we have the Capstone. Vital Strikes deal 45% increased damage to vulnerable enemies, but when we hit them with the next attack, it removes that effect, but it does heal us for the max HP and generates more vigor, not that we need much more of it. Now, another important aspect or mechanic of this build is going to be the Storm Feathers provided by the Eagle Spirit Hall. That's why we use both of them right here. Not only do they provide extra damage because they fling in all directions, also movement speed bonus, but their lightning damage also makes targets vulnerable, so all of those vulnerable passives that we had, including from the key passive, is also going to be active all the time. And guess what? We're going to double that effect because of the Loyalty's Mantle. And Loyalty's Mantle has a chance to drop from Gregoire that you have to farm anyway if you want to summon Duriel. So you kind of get this on the way as well. So this is going to make those bonuses 100% more potent. It's pretty much going to double them essentially. This doesn't just include that primary Spirit Hall, but also the second one. So for every 4 meters, critical strike chance increases. But yeah, the bonus here is doubled compared to the usual. Besides this, we also get to use a few other skills in here that will help us a bit more with damage. Your blocked damage reduction is increased by 22% while you have barrier active. Again, this is going to be an important part of having that redirected force aspect also give us the highest amount of critical strike chance as it can. Now, this version also makes use of the Accursed Touch. In this case, this also applies vulnerable, by the way, when you hit targets with it, but basically you mark enemies with a vampiric curse, and when you take them down, you're going to store those souls, and when you unleash an ability, you're going to just throw all of these ghosts running into the targets, dealing extra damage, especially when you pull off Armored Hide or even Ravager. Usually it's going to pop them out and they just jump in right away, dealing a ton of damage. In the pants category, we obviously have even more block chance per resolve stack. Like I said, we really need 100% of that so that we can power up the redirected force so that we can get as much crit strike damage as possible. Also going with the conceited aspect, dealing increasing damage when we have barrier active, so we have that all the time. It's very useful. And finally, unyielding. This is going to just make casting gorilla skills to also increase weapon damage by a percentage of our armor up to 1500. So like I said, we constantly cast Armored Hide, which is going to give us bonus to attack power. So if I activate this, as you can see, we basically double that. It's 7000 and it's going to stay there as we continue to just reduce that cooldown. And besides this, one more thing I recommend going with is the Racknaught's Wake. This is just going to make spamming our skills to basically make our character explode for even more damage. That's just going to help us a bit more with a little bit of DPS in there. Now, you saw that concussive stomp not being active on our skill bar. That's because instead we're going to use it via runes. So we're going to use a rune combination that just passively invokes that for us and just knocks down targets. And because it's a gorilla skill, it's also going to benefit us from all the gorilla effects we have in this build. Now, for our Paragon board, this is how it looks like. Some of the most important ones are going to be, in this case, we have Jagged Plume. Now, Jagged Plume is going to just increase Storm Feather potency. Like I said, it's an important part of our build, making that damage really high. We also get to use Spirit in the first one. This just increases our critical strike damage, so we have as much of that as possible. In the second Paragon board, we have the Fulminate, which just has more lightning damage, also increases lightning damage to both healthy and injured targets. And we're gonna put this on the drive, in this case board. After moving 10 meters, we deal increased damage. This can stack up to 10 times, so 30% easy damage. Besides that, we also get to use the Viscous Shield, increases damage for each 3% max HP we have as barrier, so that's going to be pretty big too. And yeah, like I said, Jagged Plume, very important to buff this up as you complete the pit. And finally, I also went with the Sapping. When we cast 3 Gorilla, Jaguar, Eagle, or Centipede skills with the same spirit in a row, restores some of our vigor and deal 30% increased damage for 5 seconds. We used Canny over here, which yeah, makes non-physical damage to deal some insane damage over here, eventually like 100%. Plus, of course, also raises the damage versus that target. And there's other in there that can work really great, like the Talon, which makes your Eagle skills to deal increased critical strike damage and just increases the Eagle skill damage. So that's also going to help with the damage that we deal with this build. So yeah, that is pretty much it with this insane build. Let me know down below, have you tried it? Did you like it? Or are you planning to use it? I think that it might get nerfed at some point, so maybe just go in and have a little bit of fun. I definitely am right now, so I hope it lasts for as long as possible. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.